guys, welcome back to another episode. Sorry I didn't get it posted around my normal time. We have had non-stop rain for what feels like, oh, Sage. Hello! For what feels like a week. Hi, sweet thing. Hi, please don't hurt the camera. So, we've just had so much rain. I haven't really been able to do much with the horses. So, and my apologies. Hello, little face. Hello. So, you can't see it, but I have two horses following me in the camera. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, ladies. So this is Sapphire. This one right there. And then, of course, you guys know Sage from her other videos, and the magic's behind her. Sapphire is my trainer's horse, and she is 18. So, I kind of wanted to just talk to you guys and give a little bit of a story. I think it's really, really important to have a vet that is willing to answer all of what you may consider obnoxious questions or explain kind of what they're doing and what they're finding on your horse. 3 years ago this month that Rose started just acting a little weird under saddle when my trainer would come to work with her. And I really respect my trainer. I think she knows her stuff. She does a great job with my horses. And we could not figure out what was going on. We thought Rose was lame in her left hind, but then it would feel like she was lame on one of her fronts, and it was just kind of weird. We couldn't place it. So I had my normal vet come out, and they did a lameness exam, and they were like, well, it looks like she has a stifle issue, and she definitely had some sort of injury on that foot from the track. We're not sure what happened when she was a racehorse, but there was definitely an injury to that leg, so that would explain why my big face. You're so cute. I just love you. Yes, I do. You are so stinking cute. So it would explain her having this issue. So they recommended putting her, I think it was called like Adequan. It's a joint injection, or not a joint injection, but it's for joint pain and injuries, and you have to start on like a 5 injection series. So I bought it all. It was like $600-700. Bought it and started her, but after her first or second dose, she was getting worse. And when I say worse, we had my trainer, we were told she could continue being used and working, but we can continue doing our normal routine with her. So a week and a half after her first injections, my trainer came out, and she weighs 125 pounds soaking wet. She's teeny tiny. And we get Rose tacked up, and my trainer puts her foot in the stirrup and barely puts any weight, and Rose's whole body started to shake, and she almost collapsed. And I was like, what just happened? So we were very like, oh my gosh, there's definitely something other than this hock issue, stifle issue that's going on. So I called the vet and explained what had happened. They basically said that I've done something wrong and that I don't know my horse, and it's because she's ovulating for the first time this season. I was really upset by that. They acted like I didn't know my horse, and 2, I had done something wrong. And at this point in time, I had owned Rose. Hi. I had owned her 4 years. So she had started coming into season and going out of season 4 times already on me. I knew what she was like in season, and I was like, this is not the case. And they just were not willing to listen to me, the owner, and that was really insulting. So if you ever are dealing with a vet that kind of belittles your knowledge of your horse, I just feel like that's just, I don't know, that just really bothered me. It really made me frustrated, because I was like, I've been around this horse basically every day for the past 4 years. I know her really well. I groom her daily, I ride her, my trainer rides her. So I was really upset by this. And you know, some of you guys could say, no, I'm overreacting. And sure, maybe I was. But I was just kind of like, to throw it back in the owner's face and say, you don't know your horse and you did something wrong, I feel like that's really insulting to the owner. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys, you're with your horses every day. You may notice something that other people may not notice. I talked to my trainer and she recommended I use her vet. So my trainer has been working with this vet for years, and so she really recommended her, and she is technically, what are you doing? Stop! She is basically considered a lameness expert. So I had her come out probably 2 weeks, I guess, after the other vet had worked with Rose, maybe 2.5 weeks. And she comes out, and within just a couple of seconds, honestly, of watching Rose move, she said, your horse is footsore. Every single one of her feet hurt. She hadn't been trimmed properly. The ground had been really hard. We have stone dust. That's what was in our ring at the time. And we don't have enough land to have the horses out on the fields if it's been raining, because it gets nasty and turns into a mud pit. So she was on a stone dust ring and it was really bothering her feet. And so she explained it to me that every time her feet were going to hit the ground, she was bracing with her whole entire upper body. And so she, because of the foot pain from bad trimming and bad footing, it was causing muscle soreness because she was just anticipating that pain and was just bracing. It was like, I don't want to touch the ground. So it was a really interesting, like, her explanation. And so I was like, okay, let's work on this. So I got my farrier out, we put her in a full set of shoes, got new footing, and she said it could take a couple of weeks to let the muscles kind of relax and for her not to be so scared of reaching out with her feet because they had been hurting so bad. And within a month, she was completely back to normal with no issues whatsoever. So that was huge to me that, you know, I do respect vets. They go to school, they know more than I do, and I give them a lot of props. So I totally respect vets, and I think that they really do know their stuff. But I do think it is really, really, really important as us, the owners, to also advocate for your horse, because vets are human. Humans err, we make mistakes. So as their, you know, guardians, owners, etc., responsibility to advocate for our animals. And, you know, just because the vet says something, if you know your horse and you feel like that's not exactly what it seems to be, go with your gut and maybe get a second opinion. So that's kind of the point of this, my little story is, as the horse's owners, I feel like we truly do know their personality and their bodies better than a vet who sees them maybe twice a year if you're lucky. So I just think it's really important, if they say there's something that they think's going on, but based on your knowledge of your horse, you don't think that's really the case, I'd recommend getting a second opinion, just in case, because, you know, if I had gone the route with Rose with these injections, I would have been spending hundreds of dollars each month, good girl, for something that wasn't even the problem. It wouldn't have fixed anything. I would have been spending hundreds of dollars for something that's not what it was. Her fix was getting her feet properly trimmed and getting her better footing. And it's been 3 years and she's been 100% sound since then. So I just think that's really important. If you guys have any stories like that where your vet thought it was something and your gut said, no, I don't think that's what it is, and you had a second opinion, I'd love to hear what that was. And yeah, so that's my little video for today. Just kind of make sure you get a second opinion, because I feel like as their owners, we do know the horses a little better than the vets. Not when it comes to internal medicine, for sure, but with Rose, I knew her leg thing was not because she was ovulating and she was just too painful in her ovaries. That's what the vet told me. She's ovulating and her ovaries are painful and that's why she's unhappy. And I was like, no. I've had this horse 3 years, or 4 years, she's never, ever, in the 4 years I've done this, had this issue. So that's kind of my point. I hope you guys get something out of it and enjoyed Sage being a little bit pushy. She is my grandma, I love her. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. And until next time.